Hello and welcome to Mint. My name is Kaizad Adajania. We all like to eat outside once in a while. Special occasions, once in a month, maybe once in a week, maybe once in 2 months, or in many of our cases, many more number of times than that. The real problem comes when you are handed over the bill and you do not know how to decipher the various charges that are being put in your bill. Service tax, service charge, VAT, and before you know it, your total amount of bill exceeds to about more than 50% to what you originally thought it would be. So I have with me over here Vivina Vishwanathan, who's here to sort of tell us and help us to decipher various charges that you get to see in your bill. Vivina, welcome to the show.
Hi, Keza.
First question I want to ask you is that can you tell me the difference between service tax and service charge?
Okay, service charge is something, it's more like a tip, like you tip to your waiter. So it's according to a circular that was released by the government in 2011 on 28th February. It says that a portion of the meal bill should be given, set aside by the restaurants for their staff. So there's no minimum or maximum charge for it. It is between 5 to 10%. That is a trend that we have seen. So that is the service charge. So if you have a 100 rupees meal, 10% on it, that is 10 rupees. If your bill is 110, 10 is your service charge. Whereas service tax is a tax levied on between actually it's 4.95%. So this varies from state to state, and there is a difference. Like if there is a breakup, some give it as a breakup, like 4.80 if they've charged, there's cess. So when you say 4.95, it means education cess, it includes education cess, whereas if it is 4.80, they'll add the education cess separately. So that's how they show it in the bill.
You've also spoken about VAT, value added tax. Could you tell our viewers what VAT is?
Okay, VAT is something that is levied on the food products. Now, all food products have different VAT, and it again varies from state to state. So, let's say most of the products come under 12.5% bracket, whereas eatables, what you have, like your meal or your drinks, beverages. But however, the things like alcohol, they exceed 12%, 12.5%. It will be like 20-25%. Now this is included in your bill. It's calculated. It adds up the service, the meal bill plus the service charge. So whatever the amount is, let's say the earlier figure that I mentioned, 110, and it is then calculated into 12.5%, and that is the VAT amount that comes to you.
Vivina, you've also spoken about some restaurants, imposing a charity charge on your bill. Now, one is that if you can tell us what that is, and second of all, is it really mandatory for all of us to sort of, pay the charges? What if somebody doesn't want to pay that?
Yeah. Charity is not mandatory, so it's voluntary, and nowhere it mentions like a restaurant can charge a charity, but we have seen restaurants doing this as a practice, and most of the times what happens is like when these are done by restaurants where where maybe upper middle class people frequent these places, and they don't see, and even if they see, it's just a minimal amount, 5 to 10 rupees. So most of them don't question it, but you have the option of questioning it, and before questioning, most of them don't notice it because they just add it to the grand total, and in the fine prints they mention that it's voluntary. But most of the time you don't know whether they are charging it or not. So it would be good if you read your bills properly instead of just looking at the grand total. And if you feel it's not right, you can always question for charity and not pay it also.
Well, there you have it, folks. You heard what Vivina had to say. Lots of charges to decipher the next time when you go out and eat in a restaurant and when you hand over your bill. Service tax, service cost, service charge, VAT, charity cost. But at the end of the day, it's good to know what you're paying for. That's all from me today, and do read Vivina's story to know more about these charges, and do visit livemint.com. Thank you.